Hello and welcome to the program, Why We Love Music. A lot of people think, and you can see a lot of this on the internet, we love music because it's like the candy bar. It's something that's man-made, it's synthetic, it's something that makes you feel good, but it serves no useful purpose. But this is totally incorrect. There's a scientific and biological and physiological reason why we love music. Because it's part of our physical universe, and we're going to explain this in this program. The physical universe consists of the ultramagnetic spectrum, the sound wave spectrum, and we're going to talk about the relationship between the sound wave spectrum and the ultramagnetic spectrum. Plato also studied the rainbow. He studied music and of course the fine arts, and he always emphasized the fact that a level of higher learning can be achieved through the study of music, and there's a lot to this. Okay, let's look at the rainbow spectrum itself. As you can see on this graph, we have the note A associated with the color red at 440 hertz as a sound wave, and as a light wave it is 440 hertz times 12 times the power of 10. Don't be confused by this. This is called 1 terahertz. So the frequency is exactly the same in parallel unison with the color red and the note A, the note 440A on the piano or whatever instrument you play. We also talk about the Roy G. Biv spectrum, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. For example, the 440 red is the beginning in the lowest frequency, ranging all the way to the highest frequency, which is the violet. The violet is 740 hertz times the power of 10 to the 12th power. For the light spectrum, for the sound spectrum, it is simply 740 hertz is sounds that we can hear. Now, of course, the red light spectrum is traveling at the speed of light, where the sound level is traveling at the speed of sound. And they also talked about the relationship between music and the rainbow. The rainbow colors, as you can see, reflect 7 specific colors. The notes in music specify 7 specific notes. This is no coincidence. A lot of people think, well, you know, this is no science behind it, but there's a lot of science behind this. This is part of our physical universe. It is part of our biology. It's part of our DNA. It's part of the things that make us feel good. And it is not a candy bar effect, trust me. It is a scientific DNA effect that makes us feel good when we play music or we listen to music that we enjoy. Preferably the piano music is the most effective in this area. In the science of music, we talk about 2 things. We talk about consonance, dissonance, which just means good and bad, or sweet and sour. And this principle also goes to the light spectrum. We have octaves in the light spectrum, and we have dissonance in the light spectrum. And this goes all the way to the universe, ladies and gentlemen. We have dissonance in the universe. We have consonance. An example of consonance in our universe is our solar system. It runs smoothly. It does the same thing every day. It has no resistance. An example of dissonance would be a collision of 2 meteors in deep space. And this also occurs in music. And Plato studied this at a high level. And it's no coincidence that the music scale has 7 particular notes with its sharps and flats in its variation. Let's take a look at the ultramagnetic spectrum. Okay, we start with sound waves. Then we're going to go up to high frequency, which ultrasound, which are used for medical reasons. Then we go up to the radio wave spectrum. Then we move on up to the FM radio, television, microwave. We go up to radiation, gamma rays, cosmic rays, which are all in frequency. And this is why we love music so much, because it's a frequency that is harmonic. And harmonic frequencies control everything. Computers, cell phones, microwave ovens, radios, televisions, sound that we love is in harmony. We don't really necessarily like the sound of noise, which is not harmony. But the ultramagnetic spectrum clearly shows that there is a repeat of to the 10th power, and the number 12 is very relevant in mathematics. And this is coincidentally at the level of the 12th power where music correlates with the light spectrum. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the rainbow again. And we also talk about, well, where did the rainbow come from? Well, that's up to you to figure that out. But anyway, we think that it's a gift, and we just don't know how to use it. They've known this for 4,000 years. Why it's not in the textbooks, I do not know. But we're going to study it here. The latest development in this study is the effects of music, the positive effects. It's used for therapy. It's used to put people back on their feet, suffering from depression or PTSD. It's used to cure disease, which is shown in, we're using frequencies to treat cancer, arthritis, a different assortment of health and medical problems. And also, let's talk about music itself. The effects of learning music are beneficial in many ways. We start with the color chart once again, in the rainbow spectrum, and the correlation between sound and the rainbow spectrum, and also the correlation between the planets and the universe and music in their respective orders. Let's talk about octaves. Octaves do occur in music, of course. Every beginning piano student knows that. Octaves also are in light and space spectrum as well, and in the universe. We'd like to thank you very much for joining us in our program, and we'd like to thank Channel 57 for